with Indianapolis Motor Speedway historian Donald Davidson. I'm Mike King. Welcome to this edition of Indy 500, The Classics. And we're sitting here in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame Museum. Donald, we think back to 1968 and 69. First in 68, the turbines came to the track. It appeared that they would be the dominant cars of the future. But then we come to the Speedway in 1969. Turbines were absent.
Well, there was some there, but none made the race. The specifications had changed again, and Andy Granatelli had decided to go in another direction, and he hooked up with the Mario Andretti team, which at one time had been Dean Van Lyne's, and they were looking ahead. They had a four-wheel drive Lotus, and in practice, it was fast. And everybody assumed that Mario would be on the pole with that car, but it doesn't always work out the way you think it's going to.
May 17th, 1969, the first day of qualifying, and a day when Jigger Sirois could have become famous. As it turned out, he did achieve a certain distinction. He became the man who could have had the pole position. On his qualifying attempt, he was averaging 161.5 miles per hour, and his crew gave him the yellow flag, nullifying the attempt. Then it rained. It rained for 2 days. No one was able to qualify. In fact, it is the first time in recorded history that no one has qualified on this first, usually frantic weekend in mid-May. Naturally, the following Monday brings bright sunshine. Futuristic designs of these high-speed creations produce a sharp contrast with the past. The automotive world has come a long way in 60 years, but you don't have to go back to the 1911 winner. There are contemporary antiques, too. This car that won the famous Race of Two Worlds at Monza, Italy in 1958 was driven to victory by Jim Rathman. Today, a rookie, Mark Donohue, sits behind the wheel. The tires are in sharp contrast to the low, wide profile of today, but the 1911 version points up the degree of progress even more. It would take 4 side by side to match the width of one of today's racing tires. And at more than twice the speed of 1911 racing, drivers need every safety factor when things get rough. A bent machine is a bent machine, even on a sunny day. Mario Andretti continues his high speed. He can still win the pole position in the upcoming qualifying weekend. Andretti hits the wall, and Art Pollard spins to avoid the wreck. A right rear carrier hub crystallizes and breaks. A wheel comes off, and Mario Andretti hit the wall. The car, a new four-wheel drive Lotus, is totally demolished. Andretti, with minor burns, is ready to continue his search for speed. His crew rolls out last year's two-wheel drive Bronner Hawk creation. Mario Andretti must start over from the beginning, and there's only 2 days left until qualifying. The search begins, but others are also playing the numbers game. Saturday, May 24th, an expectant crowd sympathizes with the plight of the little Italian who practices right up to the moment of qualifying. And A.J. Foyt has some designs of his own on that pole position, figuring that it would be an excellent springboard for an unprecedented fourth-time Indianapolis win. He pulls onto the track and things begin to happen. takes off the 4 qualifying laps with ease. The average speed is 170.568 miles per hour. It does not overshadow Joe Leonard's pole-winning 1968 speed, but things are definitely looking up for AJ. Mario is as ready as he ever will be. He starts out to qualify for his 5th Indianapolis 500. 4 laps, 10 miles, 16 left-hand turns, all in 3 minutes, 31.95 seconds. The average speed is 169.851, second to AJ Foyt. Andy Granatelli is on hand to greet him. Maybe he's just what Mario needs, a lesson in patience. Andy's been waiting for an Indy winner for 23 years. Mario's been trying for only 5. His name is Mark Donahue, a rookie driver. His speed of 168.903 is the fastest ever turned in by a newcomer. He will become Rookie of the Year. Answer is next out. The current national champion and 1968 500 winner turns out a 4-lap average of 169.683. And that sews up the front row. Last year's pole winner, Joe Leonard, qualifies the city of Daytona, 167.240. Not pole speed, but good for the lineup. Art Pollard spins in turn 3 at the start of his qualifying attempt. He came back later and made the field. And now the gentleman from Wichita Falls, Texas, Lloyd Ruby, a veteran driver and a man you can count on to lead the race. Dan Gurney was second last year. Now in one of his own Eagle cars, he makes the field with a speed of 167.341. Veteran Bob Veith takes his turn. He loses it and hits the wall, spinning down the main straightaway. Veith is safe, and qualifying draws to a close. The slowest driver in the field, Rick Muther, sweats out the last qualifier. It's 6 o'clock. Peter Evson is in. Muther is out. The field for the 1969 500 is filled.
So Mario Andretti lines up in the middle of the front row for the 1969 500. It's going to be his 5th start, and he's overdue for a win, but he doesn't think that this is going to be the day. He's driving a backup car.
AJ Foyt is on the inside of row 1. He's on the pole position. He brings him to the green flag as we get underway with the 1969 Indianapolis 500.
cars and drivers together in formation, each man with his individual thoughts. But one of them, the little fellow in the center of the front row, keeps thinking to himself, remember, Mario, that 801st turn is the one that counts. Terrific, 162 plus miles an hour. The four front runners have left the pack behind. Andretti leads, Foyt second, McCluskey third, and Bobby Unser fourth as they round through turn 4 and into the main straightaway. Is slowing down, going into the pits with a broken line drive. And Bill Vukovich is out with a blown engine. Andretti and Foyt come through the main straightaway wheel to wheel. Foyt passes in the 6th lap. Bobby Unser follows McCluskey. Lloyd Ruby, starting in 20th place, has moved into the top 10. Foyt lengthens his lead. And McCluskey passes Mario coming down the main straightaway. Further back, it's Ruby, Leonard, Tingelstad, and Dallenbach. In the 23rd lap, Unser comes in for his first pit stop. Suddenly, Jim McElreath is on fire in the main straightaway. Fuel from his feed system has ignited the upper part of his engine, which blew up at the head of the main straight. Gallantly, he stays with the car, getting it stopped in turn 1 at a point where it would not be a hazard to other drivers. The caution flag is out. Foyt continues to lead, followed by McCluskey and Andretti. McElreath stands by as the fire is put out. Then he becomes another spectator for the 53rd Indianapolis 500. The green flag. It's still Foyt, McCluskey, and Mario. Then Foyt comes in for the first of 3 scheduled pit stops. Mario pits almost simultaneously with Foyt. Now it's the 52nd lap. Wally Dallenbach has taken the lead while Foyt and Andretti are in the pits. McCluskey has dropped back. Ruby has moved up, and it's anybody's race. Then Dallenbach comes in for his first pit stop. AJ takes the lead again. Andretti and Ruby breathe down his neck. Foyt drops back, and it becomes a duel between Andretti and Ruby. Mario wins out in the 87th lap as Ernie Knepper hits the wall in the upper main straight and skids to a stop. Scramble to avoid his wreck. A.J. Foyt can't get into the pits and must go around another time. Knepper is okay, but his car momentarily blocks the track. After leading the race for 7 laps, slows down and stops in turn 3. His clutch is gone. The caution flag persists, slowing the field average. The wreckage is towed away, the track is clear, and the green flag is out. Voigt, in the pits after several trips, has a broken manifold. Makes his second pit stop in 37 seconds, then storms back out to regain the lead from Lloyd Ruby, who comes in for his second stop. Now the fantastic bad luck that has dogged Lloyd Ruby comes into play. It is a purely routine pit stop, right up to the moment when he starts back into the race, with his left fuel hose still connected. The tank is ruptured. Fuel leaks to the pit driveway. Gurney blasts back into the race. Lloyd Ruby can't believe this is happening to him again. Except perhaps for Dan Gurney, who is at least a lap behind. And back in Gasoline Alley, the gentleman from Wichita Falls is so disgusted, he forgets to put on his boots. Mario comes in for his third pit stop. At this point, he has at least a full lap advantage on the field. But there is still the specter of mechanical failure to worry the crew. Mario blasts away. Clint Bronner is hit by the left front tire. Let me tell you, it's been quite a month for Clint Bronner. McCluskey's car is pushed back to Gasoline Alley, out of the race. Bob Wilkie comforts his driver, Mike Mosley. Mario is well out there in front. He's so close to having it won that it's terrifying. There are so many things that can go wrong. McGee tries to slow him down. And Bronner refuses to look at the racetrack until it's over. He's been so close so many times that he just can't believe the white flag is out. 1 lap to go. Mario could almost coast through now. Gurney is ahead of him, but 2 laps behind in reality. Through the main straightaway and down to the checkered flag. The official language of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is now Italian. There's nothing on earth more jubilant than a bunch of Italians who have just won an auto race. Guys with names like Andretti, Granatelli, Bronner, and McGee. Bronner and McGee. Dan Gurney is second for the second year. Bobby Unser third and Mel Kenyon fourth. As a happy crew, all Italians heads for winner's circle. Now Mario is getting ready to make that 801st left-hand turn. It took him a while, but he got there. It's a record, too. 156.867 miles per hour. 500 miles in 3 hours, 11 minutes, and 14 seconds. Mario Andretti has just fulfilled a lifelong ambition for Andy Granatelli. He's dreamed of winning the 500 for 23 years. Mario found the answer all right, but it was there all the time. All you have to do to win is make those 800 left-hand turns. And be sure you make the 801st one and turn left to win.
So Mario Andretti takes the checkered flags here at the 1969 running of the Indianapolis 500. Donald, his first and only victory here. And you know, it's interesting to note the rules still stated that wings were not allowed on cars, and yet we see certainly a lot of wings, 3 that I can count right here.
There was a rule that said that any aerodynamic device had to be an integral part of the body, and so the crew chiefs figured out a way to sneak them in, but it was still another 3 years before you could take a huge rear wing and bolt it on.
Certainly a taste of things to come here at the Speedway as aerodynamics became more and more important. Well, thanks for joining us once again as we take this look back at the 1969 running of this great race. For Donald Davidson, I'm Mike King. Thanks for being with us for Indy 500, the Classic.